I'd like Mr. Smith to take this first question first. We have 6 unopposed board candidates this year. Should there be concern about this? Why do you think this is? And how would you address this? Starting with Mr. Smith.
We don't have people, I think that speaks to the level of engagement around the organization in general. There are plenty of us who love NABJ, but do members feel like their ideas are being listened to? Do we feel like collectively as an organization that we're actually doing things that are worth extra time to put into on top of already stressful work schedules and things that are going on? I think there is a disconnect between the established objectives of the leadership and what the membership wants. Listen, in 2 years, if you ask the current PABJ membership and PABJ board, we've gone, I knew how to go from a membership of about 40 people to about 200 people actively on the rolls. That's because we started task force that were immediately focused on what members were asking for. We were able to find new voices in leadership and also elevate older voices who had been around us for a while into new opportunities where they can feel re-engaged and reinvigorated within the organization. I think that's something we really need to focus on at NABJ. Again, this isn't necessarily always about what more members can do for NABJ. They do that by paying $100 per year to be part of this organization. What we need to focus on is making sure that they feel excited, engaged, and that they're getting all the value for the dollar that they deserve.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, I honestly think that we can ignore the fact that we have just come through some unprecedented times. I think if you look in the past prior to this, many of our positions, there were opponents. We had people who wanted to run, but I think we have to accept the fact that the global pandemic took a lot out of us. So many of us were in the newsrooms just trying to figure out how to do our jobs. We were dealing with a year that has just been unlike any other, between the protests and the furloughs and the pay cuts and the chaos. It was one thing after another. And I just accept the fact that there were times that our members were just overwhelmed. I think it was very difficult for many of them to make that commitment. If you look at our chapters, chapters sometimes had a very difficult time really trying to keep their members engaged. And it took a few months, for us to get on track again. So I applaud those who really stayed with us. I applaud our members who found the time to continue to commit to NABJ on a local level. I applaud those few who did step up to the plate and are running, even though they are running unopposed. I think you're going to see something very different in the future. I think the next time, especially based on the kind of year that we've had, the excitement is there. And I think you will see more and more people stepping up to run.
Would you like to respond at all, Mr. Smith?
I don't think that we can blame the pandemic for engagement that's not there. Listen, I came back to my hometown and watched it burn down in the middle of riots and got re-inspired as a journalist, as many of my colleagues and friends in this organization did. I see people like Cindy George who left the business and have come back because of that passion. NABJ needs to meet that passion of these involved journalists with programming and opportunities that make sense for them right now in 2021, instead of executing plans from previous that a board just makes up. We are here to serve members almost all the time. And I'm, as a leader of an organization, I've done that before. And I know I could do that again as a president. Listen, I think some of this is simple, right? Every day I go in to lead a newsroom. I think we have like 15, 20 reporters. We put them out on the street. We know how to agree on an agenda of stories. We go out and cover the community to deliver exactly what they want and kind of calibrate that every day. I don't understand why it's so difficult for us to do that as NABJ leaders and deliver that for our members.
One last chance to respond on this one, Ms. Tucker.
Yeah, I think anybody who thinks that our members have not been engaged this year in NABJ are missing something. I mean, if you even go back to the convention, we had 3,600 people, almost 3,700 sign up for our virtual. If you look at our regionals, we literally had hundreds that signed up for the regional. Our founders event that we did, our Salute to Excellence, you know, our members have been engaged. One of the things that we did when the pandemic started was to do more webinars that focused on training, that focused on mental health, that focused on how to negotiate your salary. You know, we had a record number of webinars, and members in the hundreds signed up for each one of those webinars. You know, that shows that they were hungry for that information. That shows that they really wanted to stay connected and that they were engaged. I mean, you know, this organization over the last year, we have proposed a number of different projects. You know, you mentioned entrepreneur. We have the Entrepreneur Network project that is going on. That is a project where we have had people apply for only 10 slots. What does that tell you? That people are interested. If you look at our fellowships and our grants, people are applying because they want to be a part of it. So, you know, I beg to differ. I think that, you know, we've seen a lot of engagement. We've seen a lot of excitement.
Got to wrap up here on this one. I'm sorry.
You know,